Good morning, St. Francis. It is Thursday, August the 12th, 2021, Thursday of the 19th week in Ordinary Time. Coming to you this morning from the Columbarium again, the Memorial Garden, that is still here in the rising sun rays behind me, those kinds of things. Haven't been here in a while since we switched to 9 o'clock Mass. Sometimes when I do these, it's a little bit late and people are already arriving for 9 o'clock Mass, and I don't want them to hear me until they can see me on video. So this morning from the Columbarium, from the Memorial Garden. It is going to be a scorcher again today, so no habit today because it's just way too hot. Hopefully next week it'll get a little bit cooler. In the readings today, Deuteronomy continues with God affirming Joshua's leadership and revealing to the people that Joshua now is the new leader of Israel to bring the chosen people, to bring the Israelites into the promised land. And so the great account of crossing the Jordan River, this great work, this great moment in which the Ark of the Covenant leads, which contains the Ten Commandments, leads them into the promised land through the Jordan River, which like the Red Sea, splits in two. And the priests of the Lord carry the ark into the middle of the river. It has split and they remain there until the Israelites pass onto dry land. What will happen once everyone gets to the other side of the Jordan and into the promised land is a little bit dicey, because there are people already living there who don't necessarily want newcomers into the land and who claim the land as their own, and Israel comes and says, no, it is ours. Again, how that unfolds becomes a little bit uncomfortable and unsavory, but finding the will of God in the midst of it is going to be our challenge these next couple of days. In the gospel itself, Jesus answers that question about how many times must someone forgive someone for any fault or failing or whatever they've done to them. And he gives the great parable about the steward who was owed money, asks for forgiveness or mercy until he can pay it back, is given that, but then when a fellow steward who owes him money he goes to a fellow steward who owes him money and he begins to demand the money back and then to throttle him and throw him into prison. The master finds out about this, then throttles the original servant and throws him into prison. The idea that Jesus leaves with the people through his parable is that forgiveness is not a matter of times or amounts or whatever it is. It has to come from the heart. Again, that understanding where everything that we do has to come from the heart. It cannot be the work of slogans. It cannot be the work of great ideals. It cannot be the work of fear or terror. It cannot be the work of anything that motivates us from any place else, but our heart. If we do not have the ability to do forgiveness, to do mercy, to do love from our heart, then it will never take root. It will never be able to accomplish anything. It will never be able to serve us in the way that allows us to embrace our humanness and our understanding of ourselves as human beings in the most wonderful and dynamic way possible, in the way that God has created us to be. So to be moved from the heart, to understand who and what we are, from our heart, is what God asks us to do today. In these days and ages, in these days and times in which we are entering into, again, what is motivating us from our heart? Not from our fears, not from our preconceptions, not from our prejudices, not from anything else, but what is motivating us from our heart to respond and react where it is and where we must be able to respond and react. And may the Lord continue to give you his peace.